Any questions on this guide words? Please drop your question in chat box so that I will answer to all the questions. Okay. Kumar, you're asking a question. I mean, before ending of the call, please drop your question in chat box. Okay. So I'm continuing with the following slides. So this is the one of the example for conducting this ASOB study. So it is beginning of the study, and you could see the number of steps it is going. Maybe the repetition as well. I mean, the arrow marks are indicating. Here I've taken example. So if the 11, okay, we'll come from step by step so that we can understand better. Okay. So they are selecting in a vessel. So whatever it is, maybe in a storage vessel or reactor or centrifuge or maybe something else. Then explain the general intention of the vessel and its lines. So when I say in a storage vessel, what is the general intention? It is just for a storage. So there will have level sensors. So it should not be get overfilled. And it will have also have a breather for a better management of the filling. Okay. Or control supplied while considering the conditions in ASOP. Controls, you mean if it is on a process controls? Yes, they will check the process controls also. If it is in a process control, yes. I think with this example, you can get better clarity, Kumar. So they have explained the general intention and also the lines which is connected. Then we'll select the specific line, explain the intention of the line in the sense a pipeline or a cable or any other instrumentation line, etc. Apply the first guide word. So a not flow, or if it is a no flow, what will happen? If it is a more flow, what will happen? If it is in a less flow, what will happen? If it is something is coming and mixing in this line, what will happen? All these just checks and develop meaningful deviations. Then explain the possible causes for deviation. Then examine the consequences. Then detect the hazards and make suitable records. Repeat 6 to 10 for all meaningful deviations derived from guide words. So once you found a meaningful deviation, again, they have to re-examine. So for each possible deviation, they will identify the possible causes for the deviation. Then they will examine the consequences. They will further analyze what will happen with the deviation. They identify the hazards and make suitable records. Then they will repeat from 5 to 11 for all the guide words. Okay. Then mark line has been then Mark line having been examined, then repeat 3 to 13 for each line. Again, it is a repetition of the process. Then you select for an auxiliary, which is heating system or utility. Explain the intention. Repeat 5 to 12 steps for again auxiliary. Mark auxiliary is also exam. Again, repeat 15 to 18 for all auxiliaries. Okay, again, it in a system auxiliary. Again, we'll explain. And once the intention is determined, then we'll follow the steps. When I say 5 to 12, again, it talks about we'll apply the first guide word, then we'll develop the deviation, then again we'll examine the causes, okay, detect the hazards and make suitable records. Then in the 20, and explain the intention of the vessel, repeat from 5 to 12, mark the vessel is completed. Repeat 1 to 22 for all the vessels on the flow sheet. Mark flow sheet as completed. Repeat 1 to 24 for all the flow sheets. Then it is end. So basically the thing is, for each line, each auxiliary units from heating or cooling, also the main supply, we have to assess all the possible deviations by applying the all the 7 guide words. Okay. Now it's another hazard identification techniques, which is event tree analysis. Okay. So here the event tree analysis is a method to illustrate the immediate and final outcomes which may arise after the occurrence of selected initial event. Okay. The selected initial event to the final outcomes. Here the example is the selected initial event in case of any leakage, or in case of any gas leakage, or in case of any liquid leakage, or in case of any process deviation, what will happen? So this technique is complementary to fault tree, but is in reverse direction. There are two analysis, event tree and fault tree. Whereas the fault tree starts from final event and works from the top down. The event tree begins with an initial event, such as power failure, and explores all possible outcomes by working from the bottom up. An illustration we'll see. So basically, the event tree starts from, I can say, from near miss to accident. Simple example. The fault tree starts from accident to near miss. We'll drilling down from the final event. So here is an example. The initial event is, so we are assuming if the release of flammable gas, what will happen? If it ignites immediately, if yes, it has become a jet plane. If it is no, it will be become as a disappeared cloud, which means vapor cloud. Then what will happen? It is become a formation of combustible mixture. If any ignition source is available, if it is ignition source is available, yes, combustion of vapor cloud. If it is no, it will disperse safely. In the sense, it will get dilute. Then, if the combustion of vapor cloud happens, then the blast effect, if it is in a blast effect, if it is yes, unconfined vapor cloud explosion. If there is no, then it will only a flash of fire. Okay, this is how from initial event to a final event we will assess. So these are the some of the examples. You can try this. So the failure of the pump. If any failure of the pump happens in your facility, what are the possible consequences? Failure of stirring of a system, or we can say agitation. Then failure of water cooling media, heating media in your reactor. Stoppage of motor at or mistake of an operator. So you can try these examples with your real-time scenarios so that you can understand how it works. Okay. Now we'll see fault tree analysis. As I mentioned, the event tree starts from initial event to the top event or final event. The fault tree starts from the final event to the initial event, or top-down approach. We also call as top-down approach. So it is a method to represent the logical combinations of various systems which lead to a particular outcome, which is a top event. It is in a graphic model that determines various combinations of equipment faults and also failures that can result in an accident. It is sophisticated from the reliability assessment, and also it requires a considerable time and also skill. The procedure is to start from the selected undesirable top event, such as gas coming out of the scrubber, and also then trace it back to the combination of faults and conditions which could cause the event to occur. Basically, here we have taken example of the gas or the fumes coming out of the scrubber. That is the final event. Then we are drilling down. Okay, what are the possible causes which is leading to the leaking of this gas from the scrubber? It will be necessary to obtain a meaningful failure data for each component to arrive at the frequency of occurrence of the top event. Okay, we need to obtain necessary failure data. So equipment failure, or operator failure, or a process failure. In the fault tree analysis, abnormal operations are assumed in the normal operations of the plant, and also the ultimate abnormal event, such as gas leakage, is shown in a rectangle at the top, and then a combinations of individual failures that can lead to the abnormal event are shown in the logical format of the fault tree. So built in a rectangle, we'll write the final event, gas leakage. Then following down, we'll have the combinations of failures which will lead to the final failure. ఏంటంటే ఏదైతే ఈ గ్యాస్ లీకేజ్ ఉందో దాన్ని మనం టాప్ లో రాసుకొని, సో ఫర్ ఎగ్జాంపుల్ ఈవెన్ ఇషికావా ఫిష్ బోన్ డయాగ్రామ్, for experienced people it may be I mean they are known to it. So what will write at the tip of the fish mouth side, will write the possible problem statement. In the back side, we'll write all the possible failures. Same way here, at the top of the page, we'll write the gas leakage from the scrubber. That is the final event. The bottom to it, we'll write the possible causes or the failures which leading to this gas leakage from the scrubber. Okay. By estimating the individual failure probabilities and then using the appropriate authentical expressions, the probability of top abnormal event can be calculated or predicted. This fault tree analysis makes it easy to investigate and impact the alternative preventive measures. The fault tree is developed from top to bottom through a series of symbols which define the flow of the logic from the base cause of an event itself, or detailed probability data, or also or most desirable. So here the probability of failures, how frequently it will happen, that is most important. So basically, again, this is developed from top to bottom through a series of symbols. We'll see here. So here the top event is possibility of a fire. So here the ignition source must be present after a mixture is flammable. Okay, what will happen? What are the various possible causes? The presence of fuel, oxidizer presence, mixture is flammable, ignition, a source. There are multiple combinations will be there. One event, it will not directly result into the failure. There may be a multiple, or sometimes maybe a single event also can cause the gas leakage. Then other will be ignition sources. What kind of ignition sources will be there? There are multiple ignition sources. Hot surfaces will be there. 1 minute. Electric arc or sparks in a open flames or lighted matchboxes. So these are the other possible events for that fire incident. Okay, this is Poultry analysis. This is bottom top to bottom down approach, and event trees from bottom to a top, from initial event to the final event. So here are the some of the examples you can try it for. Injury to a worker, damage to from this to here, explosion of a reactor, loss of control of a bike or car, a rupture of a reactor or storage tank, a loss of pressure in the reactor, over pressurizing of an centrifuge on a reactor or any storage vessel, unscheduled release of gases or chemicals, collapse of a structure, overheating of something else, uncontrolled venting off. So the vent is we are not able to control this frequently ejecting, inadvertent start of a motor. So without intervention, I don't want to start that motor in between when I'm doing maintenance, but it is started. So what are the various possible consequences? అంటే స్టార్ట్ అవడానికి కారణాలు ఏమై ఉండొచ్చు. సో లోటో వేయకపోవడము, లోటో అంటే instead of doing for that specific motor, you have done loto for some other motor, or somebody is intentionally taken out the tag or log and they started it. Okay, these are possible failures or any short circuit, etc. Okay. Okay, so any questions as of now? I'm stopping sharing. If you meanwhile getting into the other topic, you can write your questions in the chat box. Okay. So as of now, we covered hazard and risk assessment, risk control techniques, risk management, and we have seen PHA, preliminary hazard analysis, and then hazard, inventory analysis, poultry analysis, and FMEA technique, failure mode, effective analysis. Okay. And also we covered the all the guide words in the hazard study. Let me two questions. What about Y-way analysis? There are multiple Srinivas. We have Y-way analysis, 5W, 1H, Ishikawa, fish diagram. So many are there. Y-way analysis also same. So simply you starts with from again that is almost similar to the fault tree analysis. From the top event, we'll drill down to the bottom event, initial event. Okay, where we talk about in case of any accident happen, why a person is injured. Then we'll say because of fallen from height, why he has fallen down from height. He is working without any uh, fall protection. Why he is not using fall protection? It is not available or he is unaware. Then it ends. Okay, that is also one technique. There are many techniques are in the market, but these are the few techniques which will cover in our syllabus as per the course curriculum. Okay, any other questions? The functionality is same. We can't say, I mean, either FTA or Y-Y analysis. I mean, the application is same.
Okay, sir. Okay.
If I want to make it simple, so the bullet and the scooty, the both application is same, but I can't say bullet is equal to scooty. Both are two different, but the application is the mobility to travel between two points. Even Ishikawa fishbone technique, that is also same. There also it is an again FTA. So where what will happen in Ishikawa fish diagram, there also will write an the problem at the mouth side, the head side of the fish diagram. There will see the problems with relates to environment, process. There we talk about the man, mission, material, and methods. These are the four areas we'll cover in the Ishikawa fishbone diagram while investigating the things. What are the issues with the men? What are the issues with the material? What are the issues with the methods? Like that.
Sir. Hello, sir. Hello.
Okay. So I'm sharing my screen again. Okay. Hope my screen is visible. So we have seen the hazard identification techniques. Now we'll see uh, accident and incident investigation and reporting analysis. Okay. So if you see the philosophy of these things and the industrial accident investigation should be clear and also well explained to the workers. It should not be oriented towards a fault finding and blaming by individuals. So basically, the trend in the industries or the relation between the workforce and the safety department, they always see safety team. They look always in a police angle. अरे यार ये तो क्यों आ रहा है, बार बार क्वेश्चन पूछता है, अपन को फंसाने के लिए ये करते हैं वो करते हैं करके. नो, द पीपल शुड गेट कॉन्फिडेंस ऑन सेफ्टी टीम. సేఫ్టీ బందా हमारे लिए काम करता है. సో ద సేఫ్టీ టీమ్ వర్క్స్ ఫర్ అస్, మన కోసం వర్క్ చేస్తారు కాబట్టి సో దే షుడ్ హ్యావ్ దట్ కాన్ఫిడెన్స్ ఆన్ అస్. దే విల్ కమ్ అప్ విత్ ద solutions in the sense they should be transparent. Then only we can able to come up with correct root cause so that it will not allow to happen the similar or reoccurrence of the same incident. So it should not be for the blaming. So most of our investigations ends with awareness is not there, he is not using PPE, or training is not there, or supervision is not there. These are the most possible what you call investigation results or the causes, because that is easy to close the case. Like police also, we may say that he is absconding for last 3 years. The case is closed. Or maybe especially the fire accidents. So even though it is the people intentionally they have burned their own premises to get their insurance premiums because they are losses in the business, they simply write, okay, due to a short circuit to close an incident. So if you see most of the cases, when we see in any mall or any godown or any factory, it is involved in the fire accident, the news immediately comes with due to a short circuit, because there is no the easy traces to find, okay, whether it is really happened due to the short circuit. The same way, we should not do an investigation to blame our own employees. If you start doing it, so over a period of time, you will not going to survive in that position. The main objective is to find out the real causes of the accident, and then based on it, to suggest appropriate remedial measures to prevent its reoccurrence. So the pure intention should be always around identifying the real causes. For gross unsafe actions and negligence, omissions, or personal fault, attention of a person should be drawn, explaining him the consequences to improve himself, not to commit such act in future. He should be properly trained if necessary. What about for unsafe actions? So these all are behavioral aspects. So even in industries, we used to conduct behavior-based safety, BBS trainings. So when I say behavior-based, so it is purely individual. It is purely independent. There is no relation between one to one. So for these kind of situations, what we have to do for negligence, omissions, or personal fault or attention, we have to explain the consequences. If they do such an action, so what will be the consequences he will come across? What will what type of consequences he should be ready to face? And if it is required, we have to conduct a training program as well. Now we'll see the purpose of investigation and reporting. So to learn accident causes so that similar accident can be prevented by improvement of working conditions, actions, and supervision. This helps in designing accident prevention strategies. So ఎందుకు చేస్తాము? The main intention of investigation ఏదైనా ఒకటి to prevent the reoccurrence, అంటే ఏదైతే ప్రమాదం జరిగిందో అలాంటి ప్రమాదాలు ముందు జరగకుండా ఉండడానికి మనం ఇన్వెస్టిగేషన్ చేస్తాం. అండ్ ఆల్సో హౌ వీ కెన్ యూజ్ దిస్, వీ కెన్ ఇంప్రూవ్ ది వర్కింగ్ కండిషన్స్. ఎలా కంట్రోల్ చేయొచ్చు? ఏదైతే ప్రమాదం జరిగిందో దాని నుంచి నేర్చుకున్న లెసన్స్ని బట్టి వర్క్ ప్లేస్లో ఉండే సిస్టమ్స్ని ఇంప్రూవ్ చేయటం ద్వారా మనం ఆ ప్రమాదాన్ని మళ్ళీ జరగకుండా యాక్షన్స్ తీసుకోవచ్చు. టు మేక్ ద హజార్డ్ నోన్ టు ద మేనేజ్మెంట్, workers and supervisors to direct their attention to the accident prevention. Enduku? It is also useful to make aware about of the team members so that we can prevent the accident. To find the facts to determine the legal liability and also information for preventive purposes. If the purpose is to fix a blame or responsibility, vital information will be often withheld or distorted. Therefore, an investigation should be for the preventive purpose to disclose the facts, not the faults. So basically, it also does for legal complaints and also prevention purposes. So the vital information can be often distorted. I mean, you're not able to disclose, maybe in some instances before completion of the investigations, but ultimately the end intention is to disclose the real root causes. To establish procedure to combat damage claims under the compensation laws. So this is also one reason. So if the failure, it is an intentional failure, you will not able to get any claims. So to find out the real outcomes, to get the claims, compensation claims, investigation is important. To determine the change or deviation that produced an error that in turn resulted in an accident. So what kind of changes or deviations which lead to an error? So ఎటువంటి మార్పులు జరగడం వల్ల మనకి ఈ ప్రమాదం జరిగింది. So what are the various reasons or changes or situations which created this accident? In case of accident affecting the society or as a whole, the government may intervene for the purpose of a banning of the hazardous material process. So this is when any incident happen, if the society, outside the society is involved in this case, then for that purposes also it is required. As we've seen, I think last 3-4 years back, one of the polymers in Vizag, there is an incident happened. To find out the injury rate to compare safety performance, that is also one reason and one purpose. Safety performance between two different units or safety performance from the past year, etc. To use the record for purpose of job safety analysis. Even we can use these records for the future job safety analysis. I mean, process safety analysis like activity specific detailed studies. And the purpose is to develop safety rules, procedures, bulletins, posters, material for safety meetings, etc. Even we can use these investigation reports as a training material for the new people. We can show it as, and we can take these investigations as case studies to explain the new joiners. And to amend die safety laws if it is through necessary by the government. In case of any critical changes it is required, we can the government also can take up from their level, like doing some changes in their regulations, etc. Okay. Now we'll see the process and also type of investigation. So here the process of investigation includes observations at the site, interrogation with the workers, fact finding, judgment, and recommendations. So observations. When we go to the site, we'll take all the possible observations. Okay. Then we'll interrogate with the eyewitnesses. Then we'll fact finding, which means the root causes. Then we'll take the appropriate recommendations. Here, some of the objective questions we can ask during the investigation. The investigator or who was injured, what was the what was he doing at the time of an accident, where was he or she during that case, who was with him, is there any somebody else with him, what he has to say about happening, what part of the time injured is involved, how was the injured, what was the unsafe the condition, and what safeguards are provided to prevent the reoccurrence. These are the few questions we can, an investigator can